This vote is not a vote to impeach President Biden. This is a vote to continue the inquiry of impeachment, and that's a necessary constitutional step.
That is House Speaker Mike Johnson today, who said, yes, next week there will be a vote on the House floor to formally authorize the impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden.
Now, you may be thinking, hasn't the impeachment inquiry been underway for months already? Yes, it has. The process actually began months ago when former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, using the power of his speakership, authorized the House Oversight, Judiciary, and Ways and Means committees to open an impeachment inquiry into President Biden, his foreign business activities prior to becoming the president, and the actions of his family, including his son Hunter and his brother. Now, as I have reported several times, and as you heard the speaker just say, an impeachment inquiry is not an impeachment like we saw with former President Trump twice during his term. By definition, an impeachment inquiry is a theory in search of facts. The Republicans who started the inquiry have said they have a theory that President Biden was engaged in wrongdoing, but they need to investigate to find the facts to prove it so they can impeach him with those facts. But since it all started, several things have been happening, and of course, the facts differ based on who you want to believe. The Republicans say they haven't quite found the smoking gun they need to actually bring an impeachment against President Biden, and they need to keep digging into his affairs. And they say at this point, the White House just isn't cooperating with their investigation. Now, the White House says the Republicans haven't found the smoking gun because there isn't one to prove their theory about the president, so now they're just claiming the White House is obstructing the investigation. The White House also claims the impeachment inquiry is unconstitutional because the House never voted to authorize it. Now, for the record, the Democrats skipped the entire impeachment inquiry process altogether, which is allowed when they voted to impeach former President Donald Trump the second time over his actions on January 6th. It's a fact that the Republicans continually point out. But let's put all that aside, because the new House Speaker says he doesn't want there to be any question about the constitutional authority his Republican members have to move forward with their impeachment inquiry.
The House has no choice, if it's going to follow its constitutional responsibility, to formally adopt an impeachment inquiry on the floor so that when the subpoenas are challenged in court, we'll be at the apex of our constitutional authority.
Now, there is a real political calculation that has to be made with Republican lawmakers next week. As I told you in this video, after the House expelled George Santos, the Republican majority has been cut down to just 3 votes. And there are a handful of vulnerable Republicans who won their seats in districts that President Biden also won. So those members have to weigh whether or not to vote yes to move forward with this impeachment inquiry, or potentially jeopardize their re-election bids in 2024. It's a dilemma the House Speaker is trying to persuade them isn't a problem, at least not right now.
And this is not a political decision. This is a legal decision. It's a constitutional decision. And whether someone is for or against impeachment is of no import right now. We have to continue our legal responsibility, and that is solely what this vote is about.